Hi, my name is Ranisha and thank you for watching this video. Well, the video that I'm making tonight is about making a PCS binder. PCS stands for Permanent Change of Station. This binder is very important, and the reason why I'm making this video is when I first became a military spouse, which active duty military spouse, and my family was gearing up to move, I had all of our information in a Corleum folder. And those of you who have traveled as a military family, you know that traveling with the Corleum folder isn't as easy as it would be if you had something easier to travel with, like a binder with a zipper and a strap. I knew we'd be moving around and I needed to have that important documents on me and not stored away. So I looked to see what people made, or what videos were up about a PCS binder. And I found videos, but they were all about what type of binder to buy, how to section off your binder, but it was really none about what to put inside of your binder. And of course, this binder can be whatever your family want it to be. So there's a plethora of things that you can put in your binder that's important just for your family. But I'm going to give you the basics of what the guideline of what I started with, and then my binder just kind of took off from there for a specific need for my family. So thank you guys for watching, and I'm super excited about this video. So I'm going to go ahead and start. And the binder that I have is called a CaseIt binder. And this is pretty much how the binder looks. It's the front, this is the side, the back. And the binder also comes with a strap. And you can either remove the strap and you can carry it like a case, or you can put the strap on and carry it like this as well. The reason why I chose this binder, I got it from Walmart, and I saw a video on here, a couple of videos, matter of fact, about how great this binder was. And so this binder is a little bit more on the more expensive side. It was about between $19.99 and a $20 mark. But I felt like it was very important because this binder, you want to make sure you have something that is very durable, that is not going to open when you're traveling, especially if you're traveling overseas. And when you're going overseas, you need, your birth certificate, your social security cards, like all of that important information. So you want to make sure that stuff doesn't fall out of here. So I got this binder because I didn't know where we were going. I didn't know, where we would be stationed. My husband was in AIT. We hadn't found out yet. So I wanted to go ahead and get a head start on it and making sure that we had everything that we needed prior to leaving. But I also wanted to make sure I got something that can last me long, and no matter where we were stationed, it was good for traveling. So that's the binder. That's what it's called. It's called CaseIt, and again, I got it from Walmart. So let's get on to what's inside my binder, the Saunders family PCS binder. First, I want to start off with, there's a strap, a zipper here, and you can put different things in here if you need inside of this pouch. So that's a very useful pouch there. So I'm going to go ahead and open it. And the first thing you see is my little, pencil pouch. I call it a pencil pouch. But it also have another, just inner pocket here. But you can have whatever you need in here. So like I have highlighters, I have pens, I have little tabs, and I'll show you what I use with these Post-it tabs. They came very useful for one particular thing. But that's pretty much what I have in here. I've seen some people have tape, some people have scissors, just whatever you think you may need in this little pencil pouch. But definitely have a pen, paper, highlighter, just in case, you need it at that time. And then you come to this upper pouch here, and it's kind of like a little filing pouch. And of course, you can put little tabbies here. I didn't get to that because I have tabs in my binder. But things that I kept in here was just it was just like just different things. Like I have like papers that I could possibly need or that I was getting back. So like, let's say I went to the doctor's office and I didn't have time to put the paper where it needed to go. I just threw it in here. And then once I got home, I put everything where it needed to go. So this was kind of, for me, this was just an easy go-to pouch area, just for that extra access paper that I didn't have time to file away at the time, but I also wanted it to be secured somewhere. And what I like about this pouch is it has this little Velcro strap and it closes. So, you know, whatever is in here, it stays secure. You don't have to worry about it. You know, if you have your binder open, it falling out, you know, and coming out, because again, this is very important. This is all your family's information, so you don't want to lose this. So next in my binder, I have my papers. So remember those Post-its I showed you earlier? So this is what I use the Post-its for, because they stick, and I don't like, I didn't like the paper. You know, they have the little block of paper that comes with it, and you can, it's like a little hard little paper, you can kind of rip it, and you can write on it. It kept falling out. So I was like, okay, I need something that's not gonna fall out, it's gonna stay in, and what do you know, these little Post-it sticks work so perfect on here. I haven't had any problems with it at all. So the first thing that I have in my binder, I have my PCS checklist. So what I put there, since I wanted that to be the first thing, because of course this is a PCS binder. So what I had there was my checklist. So my moving checklist, whatever I need for my PCS journey, I had it in here. And that was the first thing that I opened up to. So if I had something that I needed to write down, if I had something that I needed to check off my list that I did handle already, it was right there in the front, so I can go ahead and handle it. The next thing I had was orders. So of course, when you're PCSing or whatever the case may be, your spouse is going to need, or and you are going to need tons of orders. Everyone's going to need orders. He's going to need orders when he's in processing. If you're going overseas, you're going to make sure, you have to make sure you have orders when you go overseas. When you first get there, you have to have a reason pretty much why you're there at that station. So you need those orders. And since we needed orders for everything, I made 4 copies of orders and I put them in here. And what I did was I have little dividers. I got my dividers, but I also made little subject tabs, and I put little funny little characters on there, you know, just to keep some humor and some you know, to make my book more lively. Like I wanted to, you know, I wanted it to be cool and, you know, be happy about something that I did. And of course this was my first one, so you know, it was pretty fun to make. It was a lot of work, but it was fun. So next I have orders. So I put 3 or 4 copies of my husband's orders in here just so we had those right on hand. And I made that many copies because I wanted to make sure that we still had a copy and we had a copy for everyone else, and we didn't have to say, oh, we need you to make a copy for that, because when you know, your PCS and everything is going so fast, you don't have time for any of that. And again, I stress going overseas because a lot of people made PCS binder mostly for going overseas because of the stress of going overseas. We didn't get to go overseas this first time. We actually stayed stateside, and so mine was a lot easier and a lot less hectic, but my binder came into importance right away as soon as we got to our base. So next I had medical. So now I divided my medical up a couple of ways. Inside of the medical, and also what I liked about my dividers, they have pockets on it. So I was able to put extra access paper for that subject in the pocket. And so I have, in my medical part, I have my kids. I did my kids divided up, and I put them up, divided into different sections by their name. So for my sons, I did a tab with their name on it. I had their birth certificates. I had their recent shot records. I had a recent physical. I had their TRICARE information, whether it was dental or health. I had any school things that everything dealing with their medical specifically for them, I had it in their tab. And I did that for all of my kids. So all of my kids have a different tab, and it has updated shot records from where we previously came from, because we didn't start out on an Army post. So our information wasn't in any type of Army system. Ours came strictly from the civilian world. So I had to get a lot of our information to bring it to my new duty station so that they'll have the same information that the previous physicians had. So that was the medical part. Then my next tab is documents. So inside of my documents, I have things like me and my husband's marriage certificate. I have, my mother passed away and I have her death certificate. I had that in there. I didn't know if I would need it, but just in case I did, I kept that in there. I also have me and my husband's birth certificates, a part of documents. So the reason why I put my kids' birth certificates are part of their medical file, because when it came to medical, I needed my kids' birth certificate for different things. So I wanted all of their stuff to stay together. So I kind of wanted to have a, okay, their birth certificate is going to be right where their name is, because if I did it on documents, then it'll just be everywhere. Like I'll just have birth certificates. But I know for sure if I need my older son's birth certificate, just go to his tab with his name on it, bam, have it right here for school, or whatever the case may be. So I didn't put their birth certificates on the documents. I did that specifically just for me and my husband. So I know it's only me and my husband's birth certificate that's there. But you can do your binder any way that you like. I just found that easiest for us. I also have our power of attorneys, a part of that, and any other important documents that we may have needed. So we have our TRICARE with our whole family's information on there, just different documents. My husband has other children, so we have information on them that we need, and I kept that under important documents that he may need. So that's our documents. Next, I did housing. So what I did for housing, I had our moving checklist. So I had that in there for housing. I did, once we finally got to our duty station, because we did a blind lease, I put our actual lease in here, and whatever, our move-in inspection, got copies of that. Whatever we got from housing, I made sure I put it in there. That way everything's in one place. I did employment/school information. Now this is where it gets specific for myself and my husband. The reason why I did that is because my son is in elementary, and I wanted to make sure that I got a release file for him from his old school, so that went in there. I went to college back where we're from, so I had my transcripts in there. My husband's went to college. I had his transcripts in here. So anything that we need for school, it's right in this part. Anything that we may need for a job, it's right in this section. So again, some of this stuff would just be specific for your family. That was specific for us. I needed to make sure I had a section for that. The next section was receipts. So I got I'll show you. I have a little, a little pocket pouch that I bought, and I put my receipts in here. And so the section that I got for receipts, we bought furniture before we left where we're from, so I had a receipt for that. Just in case anything happened to our furniture during our move, I made sure I keep all of my receipts. I had the receipts from our road trip here, because we drove here, so we did a 24-hour drive here, and we ate, we stayed at hotels, and I needed that stuff when we filed our taxes. I needed that stuff when my husband claimed for our PCS move. So our receipts came in handy, and it was all in one place. I didn't have to search through a purse to try to find receipts. So that section was definitely helpful. And I would say to anybody, if you're going overseas or if you're staying stateside, that is one thing that definitely should be in your PCS binder, a receipt section. So that was all the receipts that we had in there. I had a receipt for my computer. So just different things like that possibly could have gotten broken in the move and I needed to claim or whatever the case may be. My next section, I had a section for notes. That section was kind of like a gray area because it could have went in the front with my checklist, but I chose to put it in the back of my PCS binder. So if I had any notes that I needed to write down or any information that I got and I needed to write it down, that's what that section's for. But you can live without that section, honestly. You can. We have cell phones now, so I won't even lie, that section barely got used. So I kind of would rethink that section. But if you think it'll be helpful for you, I saw a couple videos where someone did say that section was helpful for them. So like I said, this binder is specifically your need for your family. I'm just giving you a guideline for it. So then I had information. I had this says military paperwork. So I put that in there because my husband got a lot of information when he was in processing. And so I wanted to make sure I had everything. He had a lot of information for when he left the reserve side and went active duty. That kind of funny, but he ended up needing. He didn't think he would, but he did. Like his clothing, when he left the reserve, he had a checklist that he turned in, and he had to bring it here because someone along the way dropped the ball and they didn't say that he turned in his clothing, and we had that paperwork, and so it came in handy for when we got here. So I have different things in here, like our applications for our IDs for deers, cards, his release and discharge from AIT, just whatever. We also had previous careers before he went active, and I did too. So I have information in there from my old job, just anything that I could possibly need that may come up. And we also had just information on getting passports, whatever the case may be. So we had, for our family, we needed a lot. And that's pretty much the end of the binder, but we needed a lot. So this binder was awesome for us. And then once you get to the end of the binder, there's a little pocket here for you to put paperwork in as well. What I will say, we have our social security cards in here as well. Of course, I didn't show you that section, but I placed our social security cards inside of another pouch because I wanted to make sure that those didn't get lost, because those are very important. So I put them in a little pouch and I kind of hid them in the binder. So, you know, like I said, you're going to find things that work for you and your family and ways to keep your information together, because you will need it. As soon as we got here, our kids had to go get physicals to start school. And I took this binder to the doctor and I had everything, and I had old shot records, and the physician, she was just so happy. She was like, oh my God, like you have everything put in one place and it's so organized. She was like, that's awesome. When I went to sign my son up for school, I had everything that he needed to sign him up for school in my binder. And as she asked for it, I just whipped it out. So instead of me having to call and say, oh, what do you need? I just took everything with me and was like, okay, what do you need? And she was like, oh, I need this. Oh, here it is. I need this. Oh, here it is. You know, birth certificate. I need his previous records from his old school. I had it all in my binder. So again, this binder is called CaseIt, and it is sold at Walmart. That's where I got it from, for about $20. So I hope you liked this video. I hope it was helpful for you. If there's any new military wives, I hope you found it helpful. If there's any old military wives who's been in the military for a while, or whose husband has retired out of the military, and if you have any information for me, any tips for me, that would be so awesome. And I'm open to everything, all questions, all tips, all criticism. I'm open for it. So if you know a way that I can make my binder better, you know, drop a comment, let me know, or let someone else know in the comments below. And I appreciate you guys watching this video. And again, I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, please like my video and subscribe to my channel.